Normally, the words Kia and sports sedan are not found in the same sentence. Kias have always been affordable, middle-of-the-road types of cars that deliver the goods and gets the job done without breaking the bank. However, after making a name for itself in the SUV and crossover worlds, Kia now aims to up its game and increase its street cred. And what better way to do that, guys, than to come up with a halo car that is meant to slay the European giants in the performance sedan category. Kia's first attempt at the sports sedan market is the Stinger GT, and oh boy, this is one hell of a sports sedan. But does the Stinger GT have what it takes to take on these European mainstays in the GT category? Well, that's what we're here to find out. Let's do this. Hello guys, I'm Regan and welcome back to another car review. If you're new to my channel, I hope you click that subscribe button and click the notification bell so that you won't miss any uploads here at Regan's Rides. If you're my subscriber already, thank you so much for your support. I truly appreciate it. Also special thanks to Kia Philippines for lending us the Stinger GT for a few days to do this awesome review. The Stinger GT was launched in 2018 and by 2019, it has already landed on Philippine shores. Now, this is not a sports car, mind you. This is a GT, which stands for Grand Tourer, and it's meant to go on a comfortable long-distance drive with enough power backing it up to eat all of those highway miles. Now, the Stinger GT is created to go head-to-head against the likes of the Audi A5 Sportback or the BMW 4 Series Gran Coupe, so don't expect its price to be at the same level as a Toyota Camry or a Honda Accord. This 2021 Kia Stinger GT I have here has a retail price of 3,250,000 Philippine pesos, but do contact your nearest Kia dealership because who knows, you might even get a pretty good deal on these cars. Now 3 million pesos and change puts the Stinger at the same price level as a base model BMW 3 Series, but the Stinger has a more powerful engine and a larger cabin space inside. However, it doesn't really have the BMW badge though, so brand snobs can stop watching the video right here. Now, once you get over that lack of luxury brand status, you'll see that the Stinger GT is a beautiful car. Kia's designs have always been on point ever since President Peter Schreier joined the team, and luckily, he was one of the main designers of the Stinger GT. Now mind you guys, this is still the pre-facelift model, so it shows you that Kia got it right the first time around. The Stinger GT exudes that classy performance sedan vibe to it, from the wide tiger nose front grille here, to the fully LED adaptive headlights, to its LED DRLs. I mean guys, take a look at the turn signals. Look at the attention to detail that was given to these turn signals. I mean, these are really, really gorgeous. Now, when you go down to the front bumper, the sides of the front bumpers also have functional air inlets here that help to serve cool air into your brakes, helping cool down the brakes. And when you go over to the center part of the front bumper, you'll see you have a couple of fangs jutting out here, and these fangs are finished in black chrome, along with the other bits that are found here that should be chrome. Now I'm happy that Kia gave us black chrome here, which gives it a really good performance sporty vibe to it, and it goes really well with the red of the Stinger GT. Now, one design cue that I'm not fond of are these dual fake hood vents that we have here. Now, if these were functional hood vents, I would have forgiven it, but since these are fake, it gives me an impression that the Stinger GT is a little bit too overstyled. But still guys, when you look at this car, I mean, wow, it is really gorgeous. It's like Kia set out to create a better looking BMW and actually succeeded. The Stinger GT continues to ooze with sex appeal on its side profile. We got a nice sloping fastback roof here that shows off its perfect proportions. We've got black chrome on the power folding side mirrors with LED turn signals. We also have black chrome on the window trim and also black chrome on the functional side air vents, which help to extract heat away from the brakes, helping to cool your brakes down even further. Now, speaking of brakes, the Stinger GTs in the Philippines gets a 4-wheel Brembo brake setup. We've got a 4-piston Brembo brakes in the front and a 2-piston Brembo brakes at the rear end. Now, take a look at those wheels, guys. Those wheels are 19 inches and they are absolutely stunning. I love how these wheels go very well with the entire design of the Stinger GT. Now, despite having 19s on all 4 corners, the tires are in a staggered setup. We get 225 40s in the front and we have 255 35s at the rear end, just like any proper rear-wheel drive performance sedan. Now, for ground clearance, the Stinger GT surprisingly has a pretty tall ground clearance of 130 millimeters. Now, that makes this car perfectly drivable on a daily basis. Now, for some reason, the Stinger GT's rear end reminds me of the Maserati Ghiblis. It must be the circular designed LED taillights here, or the fact that the Stinger GT also incorporates this subtle ducktail spoiler here on the top of the trunk lid. Now, of course, we also get functional quad exhaust pipes similar to the Maserati Ghibli. Now, the Stinger GT comes with these nice rear diffusers here and it's painted in black for that added aggression. Now, when you put it all together, you get one gorgeous looking rear end. I'd even dare say that the Stinger GT's ass looks even better than the Maserati Ghibli. Now, the Stinger GT has a smart power liftgate, which means that you just have to stand a few seconds behind the car with a key fob and it will automatically open up for you. Now, when you open this power liftgate, you'll see that we get a lot of space for a performance sedan. This has 406 liters of cargo capacity and that translates to a medium-sized luggage and another one on the side and a few more small items all around it. Now, the good thing here is the Stinger GT's second row seats could tumble down and that will give you more cargo space amounting to 1,114 liters. So it's sporty, it's fast, and it's practical all at the same time. Oh man, take my money, Kia! After reviewing tons of city cars and crossovers, it's quite refreshing to see an engine where you don't really give a about fuel economy. Now, don't you go asking me about fuel economy in the comments because, man, I was too busy watching my boost gauge and rev matching this thing to even think about the fuel economy of the Stinger. Now, what we have here is a twin-turbo V6 engine that can put down 365 horses and 510 Newton meters of torque. Now, that peak torque is readily accessible as low as 1,300 RPM, which explains why the Stinger GT can accelerate like a bat out of hell. Now, the GT, or the Stinger GT, is a proper grand tourer, and as such, all that power is sent to the rear wheels via an 8-speed automatic transmission. We also get a limited slip differential, always a good thing to have in these performance sedans. And if you'll notice the way the engine is mounted, we have the engine right on top of the front axle, making this closer to a front midship rear-wheel drive configuration than an actual front-engine rear-wheel drive car. We also have these aluminum bars here that helps to stiffen up the Stinger GT's chassis, all of which put together are hallmarks of a true performance sedan. Check this out, guys. See that? We've got motorized driver seats and front passenger seats here, and also the steering wheel is motorized and it gets out of the way so that it's easy for me to get in and out of the Stinger GT. I mean, how cool is that, guys? And speaking of cool, let me turn on this thing first. Man, it is sweltering hot today. It is a hot summer day here in the Philippines, and we are over 40 degrees. So I gotta turn on that aircon. Aircon, oh my goodness, so hot. Now, anyway, I'm inside the really hot car, guys. And you know that that little demonstration I did for you guys where the seats moved by itself, well, that is just the tip of the iceberg of what this Stinger GT can do. I mean, Kia deserves all the applause we can give them for giving us a lot of tech and features and really nice luxurious premium materials here inside the cabin, which you'd normally expect in, let's say, a premium European luxury sedan. But you're getting that for the price of a base model BMW 3 Series. I mean, it's pretty crazy, guys, but also cool at the same time. Now, the seats of the Stinger GT are naturally wrapped in black leather, and I love the fact that these seats are not only leather wrapped, they're also heated and ventilated. So right now I just turned on the ventilation because really it's such a hot day today. So now I have a pretty cool back, and that makes me quite comfortable. Now, I love also the fact that the bolstering of the seats are also not that aggressive. It's just right to hug me properly when I'm taking corners at a fast clip, but not too tight that I'd feel cramped inside the seat of, well, the Stinger GT. Now, when you look at the steering wheel, man, this has got to be one of the best looking steering wheels amongst all the cars that I've reviewed. We've got a nice leather wrap here, and we have some nice perforations on the sides. And the steering wheel, guys, is also a heated steering wheel. Granted, we're not really going to use that here in the Philippines, but, well, it's a nice to have. We also have a nice GT logo here in red, which reminds you that you are inside the cockpit of a very special car. Now, the wheel itself is pretty small in diameter, which is normal for a performance car, and it also has a nice flat bottom. Now, we also have cruise control here, and we also have hands-free connectivity, hands-free buttons, and we have paddle shifters that are quite easy to reach whenever you want to do some manual action in your Stinger. Now, when you look at the instrument gauge cluster here, this is a combination of analog and digital. We've got an analog tach and an analog speedo, and we have a 7-inch digital multi-information display in the middle. Now, normally these multi-information displays, they show you stuff like your fuel, your mileage, and mundane stuff like that. But the Stinger GT takes it a step further. You see, we've got gauges here for your oil temperature. We've got torque meters. We've got a turbo boost meter. We even have a G-force meter here. And we also have a lap timer in case you take your Stinger GT out on a track day. So it's nice that Kia threw in all of these niceties when it comes to performance, the performance aspect of the Stinger GT. It really pleases the speed demons out there, including me. Now, when you go over to the infotainment system, this is where it's a bit of a letdown. We get a smallish 8-inch touchscreen display here that has been mounted on the top of the dashboard, and it sticks out like a sore thumb. I mean, this could have been executed and integrated much better, but, well, it is what it is. The good thing, though, is we do have Apple CarPlay, we do have Android Auto, of course, Bluetooth connectivity, and the image of your 360-degree view camera, it comes out also on the screen. So those are all pretty good things. Now, when you go down from your infotainment system, you'll see that you have a nice row of circular AC vents here, pretty reminiscent to some of the offerings that can be found in Mercedes-Benz. Now, I'm liking this, guys. And I love it so much that I'm already willing to forgive the fact that the infotainment system has been just tacked on top, because that's the only way they can put it there, because of this gorgeous row of circular AC vents. Now, from your AC vent, you go down. You also have some nice analog buttons here for your infotainment system, and these buttons are finished in aluminum. And if you notice the design, it's been designed to look like some of the hi-fi systems back in the 70s and the 80s. It's got a nice retro classic feel to it, and I'm really digging it, guys. Now below that, we've got our dual zone automatic climate control system, and we have a cubby here that houses some charging ports. And take a look at this, guys. It is a soft close cubby. Wow, that is a nice touch. Now when you open that, you've got a USB port, an auxiliary port, a 12-volt charger, and of course a Qi wireless charging pad. You gotta expect that at this price level already. Now we have here a nice looking gear shifter, and beside that we've got another cover that houses your cup holders. Now speaking of cup holders, guys, we'll subject it to my clean canteen test. And this is my clean canteen, let's see. Yeah, that is a perfect fit. So the Stinger GT passes my clean canteen test. That's actually a good thing because we don't really get any bottle holders here on the door cards. Now beside that cup holder, we also have our drive mode selector here. You can change your drive modes in your Stinger GT. You can go for the smart driving mode where it adjusts according to your driving style. We also have the eco mode, of course, to save on fuel. We have comfort, which softens all of your settings. We have sport, which is the Reagan mode, and we also have a custom mode here. Now, another thing that I noticed with the Stinger GT, guys, is the fact that we don't get an actual handbrake. I mean, considering that this is a rear-wheel drive performance sedan, an actual handbrake would be nice to have so that you'll have some nice drifting action. But then again, well, Kia didn't really design the Stinger GT to be a drift monster. I mean, that's why you have a Miata for that, or a Toyota 86. Rather, we get an electronic parking brake here with an auto hold feature, all in the name of convenience. Now, I'd also like to do the straight pipes visor test, because for 3 million and change, I mean, I'd expect to get everything but the kitchen sink. So this is the visor test. 3, 2, 1. Haha, that is a pass. So the Kia Stinger GT passes the straight pipes visor test. Now, when you look at the entire cockpit area of this Stinger GT, I mean, man, I am at a loss for words. I mean, this is a Kia, and this thing is wrapped in leather. We've got leather all around, leather on the door cards. We've got nice leather on the dashboard. Everything is wrapped in leather and aluminum. Everything feels so premium, so luxurious. And everything, all of this, you can have it for the price of a base model BMW 3 Series. Yeah, so the Stinger GT is quite well appointed in the cabin, almost at the same level as some of the premium luxury European saloons out there. The back seat of the Stinger GT is ideal for 2 people only because we've got a pretty tall center tunnel here that separates the left and right rear passenger. We can put a third person in the middle in a pinch, but granted, guys, it wouldn't really be ideal. Now, since this is a fastback design, naturally the headroom space will be a bit compromised here at the back, but since I'm only 5'6", guys, well, I'm pretty nice and comfy here. At 5'6", I still get around 2.5 inches, 3 inches of headroom, and my knee room is a phenomenal 7 inches. So yes, because of the long wheelbase of the Stinger GT, the legroom, the knee room space here at the back is pretty good, especially for a short guy like myself. Now, for toys, the Stinger GT doesn't really scrimp on the toys here. You've got a couple of rear AC vents, you've got a 12-volt charging outlet, a USB charging port, you've got 3 speakers on each door panel here at the back, so that counts to a total of 13 speakers of your Harman Kardon setup. So this thing is going to sound really good, and trust me, guys, it does. It sounds really awesome. And we also have a center armrest here with a couple of cup holders. Now, the seats of the Stinger GT here at the back are practically semi-buckets, and I love how the seats itself, they wrap around my body, and it's really quite comfortable here. In fact, I wouldn't mind sitting here at the back seat if I'm going on a long trip in the Stinger GT. Nah, not really. I'd still prefer to drive this raging beast. And speaking of driving, guys, well, it's time for the main event of this video. Let's drive. Alright guys, so we're now behind the wheel of the Kia Stinger GT. And right now we're inside the city, but I'm taking this beast out to its natural environment on the highway because that is where a grand touring vehicle should be. Let's catch up to this stoplight. Now the good thing about this is despite the amount of power that this thing could put down, well, it is surprisingly civilized in city roads. The ride is super comfortable. I'm in comfort mode right now. And wow guys, if you're just going around town using this as a daily driver in a small city like here in Manila, this would perform very well. Although not optimally, of course, because your fuel economy, well, it's gonna suffer a bit in stop-and-go traffic. This sports sedan is at home on the freeway, and that's where we're going right now. All right, so we're about to enter the freeway, and I'm putting it on sport mode. Whoa! Whoa, sheesh. All right, let's take this corner, guys. We're about to enter the freeway, and surprisingly, yes, in sport mode, the damping has adjusted to stiffen up a bit, such that taking corners is a cinch. Now, we are on the highway, but our speed limit here is 80 kilometers per hour, believe it or not. So we just have to keep within the speed limit. But going on that entry ramp, accelerating into this the skyway, this is what we call our skyway. Well, gentlemen and ladies, wow, the Stinger could really put the hammer down. It's so quick that it could take you to illegal speeds immediately. Now, there's the funny thing there, guys, is the Stinger is so quiet inside. Although when I put my gas foot down, I could hear that low rumble of that exhaust note. It's not freaking loud like an American muscle V8. It's not like that. This is still Kia, so it's not as in your face when it comes to the loudness of the exhaust note, but it is quite decent. It's quite decent, guys. Now the Kia Stinger is a fast car. There's no question about it. And that's why I find it to be a bit frustrating while I'm here on the freeway, on the highway. You see, at 80 kilometers per hour, yeah, it could be a frustrating experience knowing that you've got so much horsepower on tap, you've got your twin-turbo V6, and yet you still couldn't go above 80 kilometers per hour. Now, normally our speed limit here is 100 kilometers per hour, but because there's some construction going on this elevated skyway, well, the management decided to put it down to 80 for everyone's safety, and that is also a good thing. Now guys, speaking of safety, the Kia Stinger GT is fully loaded with safety features as well. We've got 7 airbags here, including a driver's side knee airbag, and we got ABS with EBD. We've got traction control, we've got stability control, hill start assist, blind spot monitoring, and front and rear parking sensors. So, of course, the Stinger GT is a very fast car, and if you have a very fast car under you, or if you're riding a very fast car, then you need to have all the safety bits that you can get. And in that regard, the Kia Stinger delivers. Now, when it comes to the NVH levels of the Stinger GT, this has a pretty phenomenal level of NVH for a performance sedan. And considering I'm riding on 19 inches with low profile tires, I'm not hearing too much tire noise on this highway. There's just a wee bit amount of wind noise getting into the cabin, but it's not offensive, guys. And all you need to do is just turn on your 13-speaker Harman Kardon audio system, and that tiny hint of wind noise would go away. So the way Kia tuned the NVH levels here inside, I have to hand it to them, guys. You gotta give them all the applause because they did a pretty fantastic job. Suspension is also nice and comfortable even in sport mode, as long as you're traveling on a nice paved highway like what we're doing now. I'm on sport mode, guys, and I'm not having any issues when it comes to bumpiness of the ride. This is really comfortable. In fact, I could stay on sport mode, run on the highway like this, and have my kids or the missus sleeping at the back, and it's not going to disturb their sleep. The Stinger GT is simply that refined, guys. Wow. I mean, for a car that doesn't have the luxury brand status, the Stinger GT sure does ride like a luxury car. All right, we're now on a different highway. I'm gonna try another acceleration run. Shifting to sport mode, manual mode. Let's go. Holy cow! Whoa! Whoa, okay. All right, guys. What the? Whoa! Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Yeah, no words, guys. No words. Let's try a mid-run. Oh god! Oh god! All right, there's some curves here. Let's try it out. Awesome, man. Awesome. Acceleration is brutal. It's like a punch in the gut, guys. And I love that, well, because we have Brembo brakes here, you know, braking power is also really good. It's confident. You don't have to worry about stopping on a dime. But man, 370 horses, V6, twin turbo. Let's try it again. This area has no speed limit. Whoa! But let's keep it safe, guys. Bring it down, bring it down. Yeah, crazy. OMG. I mean, guys, this is one fast GT. And I love that sound. You know, the sound of the engine permeating into the cabin is not loud. It's subtle, but you could hear it. It's there. And you know that it's a 6-cylinder twin turbo motor that is singing to you. It is singing to me, guys. Now, this highway doesn't really have a perfectly paved road, as you can see. But even in sport, yes, the damping is a bit stiffer, which means taking corners like this is a bit sharper, but it doesn't, it doesn't give you the penalty of having such a, such a stiff ride. It doesn't. You don't get that stiff ride here in the Stinger GT. Wow. I love this. I love this, guys. Steering feel is on point. For an electric assisted power steering, this is one of the better ones. Turn-in is pretty sharp. Now, I've seen some reviews of this thing saying that that this thing is a bit jittery in corners when you're taking corners at a fast clip. Well, we have to understand, guys, that the Stinger GT is not meant to be a canyon carver. That's the reason why you get a Miata, okay? The Stinger GT is a Grand Tourer. It's meant to gobble up highway miles like, like it's a bunch of Skittles. Yeah, my kids love Skittles also. So yeah, this could take on corners pretty well for such a large car, but don't expect it to be like a razor when it comes to the sharpness of the handling in corners. It's not going to deliver that. This will give you the most comfortable ride this side of 3 million pesos, but at the same time give you that brutal acceleration that you'd expect from a European performance sedan. Man. Overall, guys, I could truly see myself daily driving this thing. Now I understand why Doug DeMuro bought a Kia Stinger GT for himself before he replaced it with one of the nicest looking SUVs out there in the market. I'm being sarcastic. Yeah, but the Kia Stinger GT is perfect for highway driving. It's perfect for daily driving on the freeway. It's freaking perfect. For the price, man, for the price, this is for the smart ones. This is for the people who know value. Now, excuse me while I do another downshift and acceleration run. Wow, yeah! Oh yeah! Whoa! Fantastic. My goodness. I love this. Kia's Halo car is a home run at first bat. It's like they took all the good from its European competitors and removed all the bad and came out with a Stinger GT. This performance sedan over-delivers for the price, and if you're not a brand snob, it may very well be the smartest choice in the performance sedan category. It truly lives up to Kia's tagline, the power to surprise, because oh man, it sure did surprise me. Anyway, thanks for watching.